Welcome to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. This is step number 16 along the path. I'm Bill Sklodowski, and today we'll talk about finding happiness in the present moment, not in the past or the future.
I'm Vicki Wagoner. Also today, we talk about how we react to life's challenges and finding the gifts that they offer.
Welcome to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. And as we said, this is episode number 16, and I am Bill Sklodowski along with my friend and partner, Vicki Wagoner, and we were talking about 16. Wow, sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
I know. Been doing this for a while now, and we appreciate the heck out of everybody who has tuned in, listening, is subscribing, although on Apple Podcasts now you don't subscribe anymore, you follow a podcast now. I know they keep changing things up. But it's all the same. Just do the thing. As the kids say, do the thing, do the follow, do the subscribe, sign it up, whatever, and stop on by every week, and we appreciate it. How are you? I'm
good. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm better than I was yesterday. And as I mentioned before we started recording, I'm still struggling. What's a good challenged by, I think is the Vicki term. I'm still challenged by you are, dear listeners, you have no idea how she has modified my vocabulary over the years. Challenged by the whole motivation and staying busy and doing the things that I want to do, and it's the weirdest thing because I want to do these things. At least that's what I'm telling myself, that I want to be doing some stuff to, like this podcast, to grow this podcast, to post about it on social media, to do a little more promotional stuff and things like that, and my own online business that I'm doing where I help people with keeping money flowing after they retire and that sort of thing. And yet when it comes down to, okay, what are you going to do right now, taking a nap often wins out. Overdoing the things that I should be doing. What the heck is going on with that? I don't know. So you asked me how I was doing, and I launched into a long discussion. So sorry about that, but yeah,
you're fine.
I just don't know. And I saw something online today that said, if you were up north, and it might affect me here in the South, in Florida as well, that it's that change of season thing. It's that seasonal, whatever it is, the sunset comes earlier, your body slows down, it's just the fall, it's just autumn. And that's the way everything in nature works, including us humans, that things slow down. And I don't know if that's it. I'm not looking to make an excuse. I'm just telling you where I'm at.
Well, it's getting upon hibernation time.
I would have been a great bear. Yes.
Yeah, you would have been.
I would have been a great bear.
You're tall enough to be a bear.
I'm big and tall enough. I love to sleep and I love honey. So
you've got to think it's getting darker sooner.
Right.
It's colder out. Well, at least up here in Georgia.
Right.
And I feel it's maybe, like I said, that's the hibernation time where we're slowing down, getting, hunkering down and just kind of taking a little bit easier, because the sunnier days we're busy. We want to be out. We want to be active. We want to get things done. So it's okay if you have a time when you go, I just don't feel like doing anything. Yet, with that said, how long do you want to do it for? Because there's still things to be done.
Yeah, right. There's still... unlike the bear, who all he has to do is find a good cave to, nap in or whatever.
Right.
Those of us humans, we have rent to pay and food to buy and stuff, like little things like that.
Oh, you buzzkill.
I know. And I don't know what again, it's so interesting that I have had this now for more than a week, and some days it's not terrible. Some days it's like, oh, okay, I could get a little done. And then some days it's like, I don't want to do a damn thing today. And I don't know where I'm at yet today. We're recording this relatively, or not early in the day. I know you're up at the crack of dawn, but for me, it's relatively early, and I'm just getting started on my cup of coffee and chatting with my friend here and seeing how it goes. So, well, I'll figure it out as the day goes on. That's fine. So,
So is it okay that we know that it's, like I said, hibernation time, we're slowing down, it's colder out, so we want to stay in and hunker in. But also, what little things can you do so that you feel like you're doing something?
right. That's a good point. That's a good
So
point. And
every
I
little
did,
thing
yeah. Yeah.
adds up, and I've said it often enough. It's like the grains of sand. Every little grain of sand, is its own energy, but you put it all together and you get the beach.
Right.
So
Yeah, every little bit helps. That's for
every
sure.
little bit helps, yeah. So be okay to say, okay, today, well, yesterday I was real proud of myself because I finally swept the floor, and that was a big deal for me. So I
Funny you
celebrated. I made myself a big cup of coffee.
It's funny you mentioned the cleaning up thing, because I did. I spent a good 45 minutes, maybe a whole hour in my kitchen cleaning, all right, finally cleaned out the toaster oven and finally cleaned this up and finally did all the dishes and everything, and it's like, okay, fine. I got that done. Good for me.
So
So,
you
yeah.
did get things done.
I
So
one thing.
celebrate that.
Thank you. Celebrate that. That's the good.
Yes.
I think that's the thing. And it's interesting you mentioned that. We were talking before about, no, I was talking before, but again, before we started recording, and I found this little cartoon. I don't know if it was on X or Facebook or wherever, but it's it's just two people having a conversation. Actually, it's a guy having a conversation with a wise old owl, kind of like Harry Potter style. And
Mm.
it's a simple question. And then the guy is asking the wise old owl, why is happiness so elusive? And the owl says, because you look for it in the future instead of the present.
Oh,
And I think that
yeah.
has a lot to do with what we're talking about. And that is being, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be like crazy happy. It's not like you're celebrating or whatever, but maybe the little things of life that you get done right now
Yeah.
in the present are the
Yeah.
things that you remember or celebrate or say, oh, I did get something done today, whatever. I
Yes.
mean, again,
Yeah.
I understand if you have a bigger, more life with more responsibilities of paying bills and raising kids and, you know, preparing
Yeah.
food for a family or whatever. I get that. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the thing you celebrate every day, that you were happy and being able to take care of your daily needs or something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, you do, because you're saying the right thing. To me, when I wake up every morning, I'm grateful.
Right?
Just as I'm getting older, I'm going, okay, it's right around the bend. And
Right?
every little thing that you do, it adds up, it collects. And
Hmm.
it's okay if you have a day to go, I just don't want to do a darn thing. I mean, how many days do you do that? Once or maybe 4 or 5, 6 times a year? And then we're all entitled to say, you know what, who gives,
Right.
who cares? I'm just,
Right.
what the heck? I'm just gonna, do nothing. It's okay.
It's
And
okay. It is
then,
okay.
then if something comes up and you do it, you complete it, you go, that felt good. Kind of equals out.
I hope so. I mean,
I
I
think
I know
so.
so. It's
Yeah.
just when you're on the other side of it, when you're on the side of like, I don't want to do anything. It's like the whole, the rest of the year looks like that kind of outlook, and you're just, oh, it's just where you're at right now, and that's a good point. Maybe that's part of the bigger picture or something like that we talk about, and that's how uh we fail to see the bigger picture sometimes. And I know that's something you
Yeah.
talk about a lot, that
Mhm.
30,000 foot view of everything,
Yeah.
especially your
Oh,
own life or whatever.
right.
And that, to be, and again, it's a term we use on this show all the time about being your own best friend. And, you could, so if you were your best friend, you would say, yeah, it's okay. You'll be fine. You're
Yes.
okay.
We're
Now
always,
maybe they need to kick your butt once in a while, but yeah.
oh yeah. And I'm very good at that.
That's okay. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But it's okay to say, you know what, today I just don't want to do anything. Now, if you say that every single day, then you got a problem.
then you got a problem. Then you have, yeah, then you have a problem. And I recognize that again, something Tony Robbins always says is do something physical, get out, move your
Yes.
body, do something,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
do play pickleball a couple of times a week. And I know I have said this in the past, not on this show, but I've said it with friends and others when you play. You can't not have a smile on your face when you're playing pickleball. You just can't. I mean, yeah, you can be mad you missed a shot for a split second, but it's you're having fun, you're moving, you're out there with friends, you're doing you're getting some air in your body and sun on your face. You can't not have a smile on your face when you're doing it. So cool, good for you.
Absolutely.
And there you
Yes,
go.
good for you. And that's what you have to say. Okay, good. And, go, good for me. I did this today.
Right, right. By the
Yeah.
way,
And
the motivation thing, for those who haven't been to there yet, if you go to if you go to our website, and it's the whole thing, it's thepracticalpathpodcast.com, thepracticalpathpodcast.com. We do have a little giveaway there about exactly this thing, about motivation and about keeping engaged, staying engaged with life and all that. So if you haven't been to thepracticalpathpodcast.com yet, I would invite you over there to check that out. And just all it takes is an email and we'll send you this free little workbook and this little thing to read about exactly what we're talking about. Small steps toward getting a little more done in life with a little bit
guess,
more motivation. So there you
so
go.
guess where we're both going after we get off of here?
Where are you going after we go? Yeah, we're going to,
To the website.
I know. I know. Ah.
Hey,
So
laughter is a good medicine. Okay.
yes, it is. Yes, it
And look, it
absolutely is.
raises your energy and it makes you happy. And hopefully maybe it'll motivate you to get out and do something.
I couldn't agree more. Best, and this is another. And I've been doing. I've been collecting little snippets as I go through social media, whether it's Facebook or X or whatever. I'm becoming more of a Twitter/X person in my old age. I
Oh,
don't know if that's a sign of my old age. It's like I'm not on Facebook anymore. But anyway, um, the best, and I don't know if this guy's a doctor or whatever, but he did a post and he said the best natural antidepressants. So I don't know if lack of motivation is a depressed thing, but it's all
mhm.
an antidepressant sure could help. In no particular order, sex. That was his first one. I'm like, that's a good order for me.
I like
Sex,
that guy
water,
already.
right. Sex, water, music, nature, sunlight, exercise, laughter, friendship, real food, quality sleep, time with family, friends, and meaningful work. He says, what else did I miss, if anything? I'm like, that's
Wow.
pretty doggone complete right there. That's
Yeah,
do
he
a
nailed
couple
it.
of those things every day, and you're probably good to go.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
I know. So whatever. I was going to say whatever feels good, but maybe with
Well,
moderation.
I was going to say whatever floats your boat. My ex father-in-law who passed away, he used to say, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever floats your boat. I get it. I do. I love that. So again, whatever it takes to get. And I don't want to make it bigger than it is. It's not really bigger. I mean, it's not that huge of a deal, but it's important to uh, have a reason to get out of bed. I guess,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning and decide to face the day. It's funny. I was in doing my research for the show and all of that sort of thing. I came across a post I used to be in a lot of those old network marketing businesses, where you sold stuff and you had friends sell stuff and everybody made money from whatever,
Right.
MLM, network marketing, call it whatever you want. And I still follow a couple of the leaders, the gurus in that industry, just because they're good motivational speakers and good, get off your butt and do something kind of people. And on a podcast with one of them that I was watching last night, he was talking to and I don't know if the guy was a psychiatrist, psychologist, it doesn't matter. And he only had two or three things where basically he was asking him the same thing: motivation. What do you do? How do you change your life? How do you get some more energy? How do you, et cetera, et cetera. And the guy had Vicky's favorite thing. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Somebody else picked up on it. He'd had a couple of small things. Do something different. If you brush your teeth in the morning with your right hand, use your left hand. Weird,
Oh,
but okay.
okay.
Um, take, if you can go outside, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But if you can go outside and take 20 good deep breaths, get the air into you, blah, blah, blah. And then last he said, but while you're brushing your teeth with that left hand or right hand, whatever is opposite, he said, look yourself in the eye in that bathroom mirror and say, I love you 10 times in a row. And
Wow.
I'm like, wow, look at that. I mean, because we talk about that a lot. That's what this show is all about.
Right.
But the fact that other people, I guess, not in the spiritual personal development business or whatever, recognize the power of that's impressive. That was
Yeah.
impressive to me. It kind of went, oh, look at you. Look at
Yeah.
us. Cool. So yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to love and support ourselves first so we can share that with other people.
Exactly. Hey, it's Bill stepping out of the studio for a quick second. On the podcast, one of the things we talk about a lot is motivation, the desire to get things done in life. It might be physical stuff, losing a few pounds, getting a better job, finding a great relationship. Or it might be more of what I like to call internal things, finding ways to feel better about yourself or life in general. Well, to help our listeners along that particular path, we've prepared a helpful, simple guide for personal motivation. It's called Flipping the Switch: How to Create Motivation at a Moment's Notice. I'd like to send you a free copy, along with some other special bonus goodies. Bonus, you say? Well, yes, kind of an unadvertised in-store special. What is it? Well, you'll just have to find out for yourself. So, do this. Head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com. Yep, the same name as the podcast itself. Put in your email and we'll immediately send you to the free download. We'll also let you know about upcoming podcast episodes and other behind-the-scenes information. Again, just head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com, and get your free guide to boosting your personal motivation. I'm sure you'll find it helpful and, dare I say, practical. Now, back to the show. And I think that's one of the things that I was feeling from that little quote, that cartoon quote with the owl. We look for happiness in the future, not in the present. I do
Yeah.
think we tend to overcomplicate things so much in life.
Yeah.
In terms of, in order to be happy, I need this, or this has to happen, or I want this to happen, or when it's not, or when somebody says something that I'm disagree with, or might have even been maybe hurtful, maybe insulting, maybe, I don't even know. Again, sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just in our head. I don't
Yeah.
know. What do you think about that? I feel like I've been talking a lot here. How do you release that need for the future to be a certain way in order for us to be happy? In order for me to be happy, I have to have this happen. And
Yeah.
how do I let go of that requirement of life, I guess would be my question. If that's not too crazy.
It's not too crazy. Well, the first thing that came to me is if you look at children, children are so in the moment. And they're right there. They feel it, they sense it, they express it. I'm wondering, as adults, do we put so much pressure on ourselves? We have to accomplish, we have to do this, we have to do that, that we miss out on the here moments.
Mm-hmm.
And
On the
I think,
here moments. I like that. That's a good,
yeah, we
in other
miss
words,
out
what's
on those
happening right now, right here.
right here, right now. What's making me happy? Because we're always projecting, well, if I have this, or if I could do that, or if this had happened, or we go to the past and we forget, okay, we're in the present, and we look at what we want instead of what we have right here in this moment. Are we healthy? Can we get around? Do we have people, that love us and support us? Do we have food on the table? Things like that, that this is what we have right here, right now. Let's be thankful for that.
Right.
So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's what's just, coming out of my mouth. which a lot of stuff just comes out and it's like,
And that's
people will
okay.
say, do you remember when you said? And I go, no, because it was right there at that moment. And if you got it,
Right.
great. If not, well, I don't know what to tell you. But I really think we're always ahead of ourselves instead of being here.
Right. Right. And a lot of, again, thought leaders in this space, I've heard it called time traveling. It's time
Yeah.
traveling. You're
Yeah.
either fretting about something you did in the past. Oh, if only I could have blah blah blah.
Mhm. Right.
I do that a lot.
Oh, I think
Or you're worried about what could happen in the future where it may or may not happen. You have no idea, but you're worried about it anyway.
yeah.
So tons of your energy, of your attention, focus, whatever you want to call it, is not here right now in this moment, not here and now.
Right.
And I, this is I had here's an example. We were playing pickleball last Saturday. The park that we play in, normally no problem. This particular Saturday, the park was mobbed with people. And I mean, just it must have had some event or something going. I don't know. There were crowds of people that they weren't normally there, whatever. And there was a group of high school kids, I guess. I'm not so good with ages anymore, that were doing, it must have been like I was going to say Easter egg hunt, like a scavenger hunt or something. I don't remember.
Oh.
They were all over the park, all over. And our pickleball court is kind of out in the open somewhere. It's not in a fenced in area. And they were running back and forth behind the pickleball court on the court.
Oh.
Which is bad form, bad, no, lack of consideration, politeness, whatever. And I finally expressed myself, perhaps a little loudly and perhaps a little forcefully, to one of the young men, because I wouldn't do it to one of the girls, but hopefully they'll see it and whatever. One of the young men walking behind the court while we were playing. And we had a short, meaningless exchange of what politeness was all about and what that sort of thing was all about. And he went his way and I went mine. But that gnawed at me the rest of the day. So, I mean, not in a big bad way, but you always have those moments when you have an exchange with somebody where it's like, damn, I should have said this. Damn, that would have been a great line. Damn, I should have, or maybe I should have just said nothing or whatever. So no matter what, I was, for the rest of that day, I was living in the past. Okay, the past was only a few hours ago, but I was still there. I was in that past and reliving that moment and thinking of all the things I could have done differently, better, worse. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so I finally got to the point where, all right, this is driving me effing nuts. Just forget it, Bill. Just be done with it. Okay, how do you do that? How do you do that? It's in there. It's in my head. I already got it in there now. I don't think I'm going to get it out because it's already in there. I can't prune it out. It's not like, it's not like a bad banana that I throw away. But eventually I came to the point of, like, whenever I heard my brain start to go on that, I would literally speak out loud. I would go, all right, we're done with that. What's next?
Right.
Next.
Yes. Right here.
Right. To try to stop my time traveling and bring me into the here and now. I'm not going to say it was 100% effective, but I think it did help. I think it did help me to say that I'm done with that.
Yes.
Now we're moving into the next part of life, whatever the heck that might be.
And you're there at this moment. What can you do now? What can you focus on now?
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to say it was 100%, but I do think it helped. And I do think, like you said, if you can be more present for everything that you're doing right now, good, bad, or otherwise, that's a better way to live. That's, well, the better way to live. Boy, if only it was that easy. It's a better way to live.
Well,
I don't know. I'm just giving myself a little pep talk about trying to stay focused now, here and now, what that looks like in everyday practical, life.
Right.
what you're doing. So
And look at it. Well, what did you learn from it?
don't yell at high school kids on pickleball courts. You'll never win. That's what I learned.
Well, yes. And looking back on it, I mean, because everything's about a lesson. We're always learning and growing and evolving. So
Yes.
looking back on it and go, okay, if this happened again, how would I handle it a different way? And being kind with yourself. I mean, you're having a moment. You're out playing, you're
Right.
all jacked up, running back and forth.
Right.
And you just had a moment, when you know,
I
you
so
had a moment.
right. I had a moment. So here, so good. Thank you. Yes. Here's my concern might be too strong a word, but I don't know.
Okay.
So, but let me lay this on you and see what you think.
Okay.
I You're right. The question is, what do I do next time when
Right.
something similar or exactly the same happens again? And the pacifist in me, the peace loving, quiet, kind of just get along person in me says, forget it. Don't worry about it. It'll, they're doing their thing, whatever. They're on their way. It took 10 seconds. Now it's done. Forget it.
Mhm. You haven't.
It's not the no. I
Yeah.
have it. I'm doing my best to forget it in this moment. I'm doing my best to forget that incident. Yes, I am. You asked the question, what have I learned and what can I take with me to the next time?
Right.
So I'm saying the next time, okay, now I'm aware. I know what happened.
Right.
You know, different kid, different situation, different whatever. And I choose this time to go, I just won't do anything. That's going to gnaw on me a little bit. That's going to gnaw
Yeah.
on me because it's like I darn those kids. I should tell them what they're doing wrong. And so that's my struggle. That's struggle. It's none of this is a huge struggle. None of this is life and death. Come on. It's pickleball for
Right.
God's sakes. So
Yeah.
maybe it is. Maybe it is just forget about it and let it go. And I don't know.
Or if it happened again, you know how you felt doing it this time because you're talking about it,
Right.
going, hey, guys, this is where we are. These are our boundaries.
Right.
What can I ask you to please, step back, I don't know, 10 feet or whatever.
Right.
So, and we all had moments where we're going to fire up, where we're going to, explode, the fumes are coming out of the top of your head. So
And
that's part of being human. And again, it's part of how you learn and you grow is by things that you do and you say, and lots of times handle things the right way.
right.
So
Right.
every once in a while, we're going to trip on the pebble, and fall down and have a hissy fit. Oh boy, nobody knows any better about that than me, you know. And
I
I'm the
get it.
first one to say it. Yet, how can you learn from it? How can you grow from it? How can you, if it happens again, how are you going to be able to look at it from that different perspective?
Right. Right. And that's the $64,000 question as to what do you do next time? Because again,
Right.
don't want to be
Right.
living in the past, don't want
Right.
to be living in the future. But
Right.
again, life is going to continue to throw these things at you. Maybe not the exact same thing, but it's going to be something similar,
Absolutely.
and you're going to have to deal with it. And
Mhm.
what lessons can you bring to bear on that to say, well, last time I did this, it didn't work out so great, or maybe it did work out great, and I'll do the same thing again. I don't know. I'm just
Right.
saying, there's always there's if you stop and think about it, there are damn lessons in everything we do in
Oh,
life,
yeah.
in everything. And
Hmm.
I used to struggle, not struggle. I used to be challenged by the fact, oh, lessons. Ooh, I don't. Ooh, that sounds horrible. That sounds icky. That sounds like the universe is testing me all the time. The universe isn't testing.
Mm-mm.
I'm testing myself. I did it
Yes.
this way once. How am I gonna do it the next time? That's on me. That's, you know. So anyway, that's
Well,
on
that's
me.
how people learn and grow and change and evolve.
Hmm. Say more about that. How do they learn and grow? By going through these lessons and then doing something different the next time?
Right, making different choices. So how
Right.
do you learn something? How do you learn to, be a nice person, when you're out there playing pickleball, you're in the game and your energy's high and there's a lot going on.
Right.
So you had a moment where you were thrown off because I've known you for years. You're a really gentle, loving, happy person. Is it
Oh,
okay
sure.
that every once in a while you fall down? Be kind with yourself, that you tripped.
So there's the question. So there's the question. Thank you for explaining it or putting it into words. Is it tripping and falling down when I feel the need to express myself about something that's going on in my environment and it may not sit well with the other person who I'm expressing it to?
Well, that's part of life. I mean, we've all done that. We've all done that to somebody. But yet taking
Sure.
responsibility for it, and if you see that kid again, I don't know if you will. I mean, go up to him and say, "Hey, I was a little tough on you. I please ask you to kind
No,
of,
I wouldn't do that. I would not. I'd stop right there. I wouldn't do it. I would
you
not
wouldn't
do
do
that
that?
because I wouldn't do that because it's not like I was in his face or threatening or anything like
Oh,
that. It
okay.
was a discussion held across the pickleball court from 50 feet, from 40 feet away, whatever. No, no.
Okay, so let me ask you, why is it such a big deal that you brought this up? You must be feeling something.
Well, again, because it was I'll just say it, it was the anger of the moment that somebody
Okay.
was intruding upon my enjoyment of the day and
Right,
three other friends,
right,
because we all had to stop
right.
as these kids moved back and forth behind our court. And I took it upon myself as the one to say something to them about it.
Okay. So how, reflecting on it, were you like barking on them? Were you jumping on them? You were
No,
cursing at them, or
no,
you just said, "Hey, listen,
yeah,
set a boundary."
yeah,
You set a
yeah.
boundary.
No, I think no, I didn't. Again, there was nothing, absolutely nothing physical about it,
No, not
almost
physical.
nothing mental about it, whatever. No, I just expressed that this is not the way things are done.
So you put into action
Right.
for helping the others that were there, and helping these kids to realize, hey, there's boundaries. There's things that you got to think about somebody
Hopefully,
else.
hopefully so. Hopefully.
Well,
I'm honestly, I'm not optimistic that anything sunk in on their part.
yeah. What
Because they're
did you
kids.
do for you and for your friends?
What's that?
What did you do for you and for your friends? You took action.
Yeah. Yeah. I took a little bit of, again, just verbal action when I
Right,
thought it was necessary. So okay, so no, I'm okay with
right.
what transpired. I'm just, what lessons did I learn from that? I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
so
Because some
in
people
what,
you're just not going to convince of anything.
no, you're not going to convince them, but yeah, you took action and
Right.
you were there for yourself, you were there for your friends,
There you go.
and you made a statement.
There, that I did.
So you didn't curse at them, you didn't beat
No, no,
them, you
no,
didn't
I
run
wouldn't
them
do that.
down. So
I
you
wouldn't do that.
actually, so you set a boundary. You made a statement.
We're
And
going to go with that.
okay.
We're going to go. We're going to go with took action, set a boundary.
There you
Again,
go.
I don't, and that's part of the lesson. I'm sure is that
Mhm.
you can take action and set boundaries all you want, but if the other party doesn't particularly get the message, then now the question becomes, if it happens again. Well, see, that would be, there's way too much. That rabbit hole is way too big and way too
Yes.
deep. And
Right.
again, that I think is part of my lesson, is that when it's done, it's done.
It's
You
done.
did what you needed to do, what you felt you needed to do in the moment. Now it's done. Okay, what's next? Because
Yeah.
I got to change that. All
Right.
right. Thank you, doctor. I don't know that I feel any better, but I'm glad to get it off my chest either
Well,
way.
and that's important. Get it off your chest because,
Right,
and that's another thing. We carry it and then it
right.
festers and it grows and then it takes over our lives. So expressing is
Right.
a really good way to do it. You get all of that out.
There you go. That is for sure. So,
And that's
oh,
healthy.
interesting. So just to try and put a small bow on this, because it's past
Okay.
break time, but just to try to put a
Oh,
small bow
okay.
on this, maybe the takeaway for me, if that's a word, maybe
Okay.
I know it's a word, maybe the lesson in this for me is that I did take action on something that was bothering me again. And now that I'm saying it, I can hear Vicki and I can hear other spiritual gurus that I have followed telling me about not being attached to an outcome,
Hmm.
right? So
Yes.
I did my part. I
Yes, you
did
did.
my thing. I expressed
Hmm.
myself. I stood up for my friends and all that, playing pickleball, whatever. Choose your words, whatever they happen to be. I did my thing.
Hmm.
Now it's not, there's no attachment for Bill to the outcome of that. Does the young
Right.
man see the error of his ways and go, oh God, the old man was right. I'll never do that again? No, that ain't happening.
Probably.
Does the young man say, what an asshole the old man was? He might. Again, I can't control that. So
No,
I know that the
you
lesson of
know.
all of this is that it is about that I did something and now I'm I took action in the moment. I handled whatever I needed to do, and
Right.
now it's okay. Good, you're done with that. You expressed yourself, as Vicki would say.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
God, I am going to need a nap after all this is over.
I
It's
know you look tired for a minute.
all right. Let's do this. Let's take a break. Go refill your coffee or do whatever you need to do, and we will continue this in when we return. But for now, we will be right back. Welcome back. This is The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. I'm Bill Sklodowski, along with my friend and partner, Vicki Wagoner. And before we forget, before we get into too much other stuff,
Okay.
how, if someone would like to get in touch with you, what is the best way to get in touch so that you can help them unpack all the crap going on in their life? I get this for free. But you charge a very reasonable price for personal sessions with people, and they get your undivided attention, and it's an
Yes.
awesome thing. And if somebody were interested in that, how would they get in touch with you, please?
They can call me at 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53
There you go. And if you, for yours truly, I'm doing this thing now, like I said, with business, online business stuff. More on that next week. But again, of course, you can always go to YouTube and check on Bill's iPhone tips for information on helping you wrangle your digital gadgets in life. And, that's a thing. So people stress over that too. Don't know anybody like who would be stressing over gadgets in their life.
Oh, really? You don't know me?
So my sarcasm went right through the microphone and right out the other side. No worries. Also, by the way, mention this at the top of the show. Don't forget, if you would like our little free handout workbook and ebook on motivation and getting things done in your life, head over to our website, which is thepracticalpathpodcast.com. All together, all one word, and it doesn't matter if you capitalize it or not. Thepracticalpathpodcast.com. And all you got to do is put your email in there and you'll get our little ebook on motivation and all of that sort of thing. So there you go. Awesome. So yeah, this conversation about letting stuff go and all that, that's so important because I know even for myself, there's so many things that kind of like gnaw at me over through life and all of that just I wonder sometimes if that's, well, I don't know. I just think the process of learning to let things go when
Yeah.
necessary, not when necessary, it's always necessary. Let things
Hmm.
go. Just let it go. Just, you're going to be fine. Let it go. Yeah. That's where I'm going to leave that at that. I'm almost a little tired of talking about that particular topic.
Well, and looking at it from what gift can you get from it? How can you learn it from it? How can you grow from it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's, of course, the most important part of it. What am I taking? What's the takeaway? What am I learning? What am I getting? What am I, whatever? So, yeah,
Right,
agree with all of that. And
right.
again, if it takes time, this is what I wanted to talk about. If it takes time to process that, that's
Yes.
okay.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
make sure that I'm not going to say you have to give yourself a limit, but there has to come a time, I feel, again, tell me if
Mhm.
I'm wrong, there has to come a time where it's like, okay, I am well and truly done with this thing. And
Right.
now I'm going to park it somewhere else in my brain. We were talking on the break that I had a friend, a female friend who, that whenever anything came up in her life and I would ask her about it, her answer was, 9 times out of 10, her answer was, I'm processing that. And I'm like,
Mm,
okay. And then a week later, I'm processing that. And then a month later, don't say it, processing that. And eventually I ended up asking her, okay, on this particular thing that you've been marinating on for a month now, when do you think it will have been processed? In other words, finished, rather
yeah.
than you're still mulling it over. That's my new favorite word is, by the way, marinating on something. It's
Marinating.
like a steak, like roast
Yeah.
beef. You're
Yeah.
marinating it first. I there, there I don't think you can set a timer on it. You can't,
Yeah.
like I have an Alexa. If I say it too loud, she'll talk to me. I have an
Yeah.
Alexa in my room here in my office. And if I said, or Siri, Siri set a timer for 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes, I will have processed this thing. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
But, oh, she's responding to me now. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't either. But what can we do? Is there something we can do to perhaps set a little timer, mental, spiritual, emotional timer on things to say, I don't want to spend a week on this, but I do
Right.
want to give it maybe a little bit of attention so that I can figure out what the lesson was.
Right.
Is there any tips or something you might offer on like what we can do to, and I see you shaking your head there. So,
Yeah. It all depends on what the situation is. It's like, like you're talking about, this young man that was kind of rude, that you could process pretty quickly.
mhm.
There's some things in life that'll take you your whole lifetime. And I know
Damn, I
that.
don't want to hear that.
Well, it's, there's some things that you, like I said, you can get through very quickly. Somebody,
Sure. I'm thinking.
runs the red light, you can pretty
Yeah,
well
yeah.
process and go, okay, the person's an idiot, I'm glad I didn't get hurt. Okay, I'm, looking left and right, I'm moving through the green light.
Right,
Yet there's other things, and I've shared it before, is that having been abused.
right.
That's a process that is going on forever because I'm 71 and I'm still processing that. It still sometimes pops up and it still sometimes affects me. So I take it what happens in that moment that would trigger this remembrance of it is I sit with it and go, okay, why is it coming up? What do I need to look at to address it, to move past it? And a lot of it is about forgiveness. It's understanding, that my dad, you know, may not have had the best life himself either, and he didn't know how to, handle it, so he took it out on all of us.
Right.
He's passed over, so I look at it like, I hope you rest in peace, and I hope next lifetime is better for you, So there's some things that just will be going on for a long, long time, and there's other things that you can just settle in a few minutes.
Right.
It's
Right.
deciding
That
how, if it's not worth anything, if somebody, like I said, ran a red light, how long do you want to, focus on that, or if
exactly.
somebody said something rude to you, you go, okay, well, maybe they just had a bad day and just kind of move past it. So stepping out of it, looking at the bigger picture of it, and, what are the pieces of it? And does it really, affect you that much? Or how can you move forward and go, they just had a bad day?
I do think, And again, you're pointing out something that's sparking in my brain the same quote, the same feeling that comes up so often on this show. It's a good thing. And that is, we are the ones that are responsible. I am responsible for how I choose to process something, how I choose to
Mhm.
release it or not, whatever. None of that is, it doesn't matter what happened. Like you said, the guy ran the red light. He's on his way. He may or may not even know he ran the red light. It's like,
Right.
I had a reaction to it. How long am I going to hold on to that? Or something else. Somebody says something to you or does
Mhm.
something to you. They don't, chances are, they're not even thinking about that now that it's over.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
and they may never have thought about it. So the
Mhm.
question is, how much, Bill, talking to myself, how much
Mhm.
of my personal energy, personal power, if you like that term, I do, am I willing to sacrifice? Am I willing to, how much of my personal currency am I willing to
Yeah.
spend on this particular thing, knowing that no matter what I do or think or feel, the other person's not changing.
Right.
They're not. There's nothing I'm doing in this moment that is changing the guy that ran the red light or the guy that I had the argument with on the pickleball court or whatever. It's
Right.
just not. So again, it comes down to you, to me, to the person having those processing moments of how much do I want to invest in this? For me, it's
Yes.
usually as little as possible. So I, it just is.
Right. Yeah.
And this goes back to the thing that we said at the very top of the show, which is you're looking for happiness in places where you cannot find it. You can't find
Right.
it in the past. The past is past. It's done. The future hasn't arrived yet. There's no way you could have happiness in any of those places. You can only have it here. Okay, right
Right.
now, right here, I'm burning my energetic currency, my spiritual currency on worrying about something that's, it's just not going to change. It's
Not going to change.
not going to matter. Okay, that was a long and involved conversation to basically say it's up to you. And by you, I mean me, I mean you, I mean our listeners. It's up to you about how much you want to, again, invest in that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. By investing in it, by sharing it, you can change people's lives. Excuse
You
me.
can or cannot.
I can. I did that with my dad.
Oh, you can do it, but you do it for
I
yourself.
I did it for myself
Right,
and then I shared it with him.
right,
And he was in the process of passing away. And my I'll just tell you that he said to me, "Thank you for helping me see my life from a different perspective."
right.
And that helped him because of what I did for myself. So I
Yeah,
shared it with him with no intention of, I'm just telling you how it is. This is it. This is what you did. This is it. And so my business card is change your perspective, change your life. Because I helped myself change my perspective, which helped him change his perspective.
right.
And I use that to empower other people because it
And
can be done. It's what you do for yourself first.
right, right.
Yes.
You we've you've mentioned that story in the past, and it's a wonderful,
Yeah.
great story.
Yes.
Recognizing that it's not always going to be that way for some people, that it's,
Oh, no.
yeah, right. No, I'm not downplaying your
Oh,
story at
no.
all. Your story was
I know.
fantastic, but I'm saying in the everyday play of life, again, the guy that runs the red light, whatever,
Right. Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
even if you see that guy at the grocery store 10 minutes later because you recognized his car or whatever, and you talk to him about it, whatever, it's, okay, maybe that, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the red light. Okay, great. Maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Your story is great. It was a the biggest issue for you in life.
Yes. Yes.
And you were blessed with the gift of somebody actually recognizing that and being able to speak to that in their last days on earth in this life, so before they
Yeah.
pass away,
Literally.
whatever.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Love
Thank
that. One of the best stories that we tell on this show. Again, I just want, and again, I don't want to downplay it, but I'm just saying, don't expect that. You know, it's like you're not going to have people
Oh,
change their lives just because you happen to mention it to them.
and there was a shock
Right,
it was shocking, but it was one of my greatest moments in my life.
right.
It's, it's a rarity, I'm sure, yet the possibility is there. And
There you
that's what I
go.
want people to know, that taking care of yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, seeing things from that different perspective can actually change your life. So what you
That's the
do for
lesson.
you is
Yes,
most important. Sharing it with others, you share it, you've done your part, yet they have to be the ones that want to make the change. All you can do is offer
yes.
them a gift.
There you go. There you go. I can offer this to you. I can offer to you the idea that I had this thought, had this belief, had this whatever. It came to me. Now I'm sharing it with you. Now you get to do with it whatever you choose to do, you want to do with it. And maybe they
Mhm.
return the gift to you in terms of, oh, you're right. You're right or wrong is not important. Let's
Right.
get over that. I don't want, because I have that. I recognize that in me sometimes, that it's like, I want to be right about this. I recognize that. And I recognize also that you're chasing ghosts with that, Bill. You're probably never going to catch that. So it's not right. It's not wrong. I'm expressing something to you.
Mhm.
Perhaps you understand, you get it, you comprehend it, you integrate that into your life, and you reflect that back to me. That's a great gift. Don't count on it. But if it happens, cool for you.
That would
And
be
again,
good.
you
Yeah.
had the great gift. You had that great gift.
Yes. And look at, by expressing yourself, expressing oneself, is you're doing that for yourself. You're doing that for the inner child that's in there. And I talk a lot about the inner child because we look at these big people and we go, oh, they must know everything. Well, guess what? They've got
Right,
little people inside of them. So for us to
right,
have the love, the respect, and the honor for ourselves to be vocal and to say, here it is with respect. Yeah, look what you're doing for yourself. You're taking care of yourself, you're loving yourself, you're listening to yourself, you're taking action on it, and hopefully inspiring other people to do the same.
right, right. Because no matter what happens, no matter what the response is you get back, you at least have the satisfaction, if whatever the word is, of being
Yeah.
able to have said, I expressed myself. I
Yes.
put my feelings out there. I put my thoughts out there. Now, what you do with it, okay, I have no control over that, but I can
Right.
be satisfied. I can be cool with the idea that I got to say my thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
to be really proud of loving and respecting yourself
there you go.
and sharing
There
that
you go.
energy. You're sharing it. And again, whatever they do with it, that's up to them. But look at what you've done for yourself. Look what you've done for somebody else, giving them the gift. You can give a gift. They're the ones that have to open it or throw it away. That's their choice. But you've
Right, right.
done what you
And
needed to do.
and that makes the point of being mindful of the way you express yourself to someone, doesn't it? Because
Mhm.
if I
Absolutely.
would have, again, with my pickleball situation, depending on how I would have expressed myself to that other person, that is going to uh, have a big influence on the way they respond to me. I mean, again, if
Yeah.
just yell at somebody in the parking lot for taking your parking space or whatever, I don't, I'm trying to make it so it's not something that we feel um, someone has done something negative to us. I don't, because there's that natural tendency to respond in a way that it's like, hey, you took my parking space. Hey, you're messing with my pickleball game. Hey, you're whatever. Okay, I get it. They're doing you a wrong. They're wronging you in some way. You feel like you have to set them right in some way. That's probably not going to work. But if you express it in a way that's more what? More, I'm not going to say, well, positive. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know.
positive
There has to be
or
a way to express it, though, that it's less confrontational.
yeah. And yeah, okay, that, we're human. We're going to have our confrontational moments, yet to
Hmm.
approach it in a way that hopefully they learn something from it. They can grow from it.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
And sometimes it's going to
So
happen,
again,
sometimes it's not. And, I'm one of the first one that, sees the guy flying by me and I can, I can curse with the best of them, let me tell you.
right, right. Ah,
Human,
so
I'm human,
again,
you know,
right, right. You're human. We're all human, and we're stuck
all
with that
human.
for this lifetime anyway. Something better
As
comes
I,
along. Who knows? So
as I like to say,
I don't know.
as I like to say, you're seeing me on a good day.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and that's fine. We appreciate that. So thank you. Um, but yeah, it's again, boy, this is if there are a couple of big umbrella messages in this podcast, and by this I mean all of them. I mean, here we are. I think
Mhm.
I said episode 15 or 16.
16.
In 16 hours of talking about what we're talking about, one of the big things is it's in a good way, it's all on you. It's all on
Yes.
you. How
Mhm.
you respond to life,
Right.
how you react to the things that happen to you in life, whatever, to be
Yeah.
able to say, it's not about, oh, somebody did this to me or life or mother nature or, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you got to live through the hurricane. I understand that. We
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
that with our friends in
Yes.
Florida all the time. But
Yeah.
again, at the end of the day, it's all going to be on up to you to make that decision about how you respond to things. And that, I guess, is one of the, not I guess, I know, that's one of the great blessings and curses of this life is that it's up to you. Nobody, you are,
But
you're the one that's coming to your own rescue. That's it. That's it.
absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And like you said, how you respond to it or take responsibility for it, you know.
Right.
If and like I said, today's a good day. I've had my bad days. So what I do is if I, make a mistake or I get angry or something, I do my best to not like erase it, but to take responsibility for it and to shift the energy of it, shift the effect that I had on somebody else.
It's hard to do. I mean, hard. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
That's the third time this episode I've changed hard or difficult to challenging, but I'm going to keep doing it, keep reminding myself. It's challenging
Hmm.
to do, to
Oh
think to
yeah.
yourself sometimes I was responsible for that thing,
Hmm.
because that stings a little bit. That's,
Oh yeah.
you admitting that you may have done something that wasn't in your best interest in the moment. And now what do I learn from that? And how do I take it? How do I
Hmm.
move forward with that?
Right.
But
And
yeah,
it's baby steps, not all of a sudden are you going to turn around and go, oh, I'm wonderful. I, speak, positive to everybody. I think that's, a little out there. Nobody can,
right.
but at least putting into action and taking responsibility for it and saying, okay, I'm making these steps. I'm making this effort to be a better person, to be calmer, to step back and take a breath before, my mouth, shoots off like it does often. Um, you don't know anything about that.
No, no, that's fine. You're fine.
I think it's recognizing it, taking responsibility for it, and doing our best to remember that if something similar comes up again. And being kind with ourselves if we trip.
Because you will.
We
There's,
will. We're human.
you're human, and there is no way you're going through this life and not tripping up over something. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
Buddha might have done it. Jesus might have done it. We don't know. I wasn't there to watch. I'm sure they had their bad days too.
I'm sure.
Um, yeah. So you're human. You're going to have those days. You're going to have, well, you might, maybe not days. You're going to have those moments
Moments.
because you're not in charge. The guy is going to cut you off in traffic, or somebody's going to take your parking space, or whatever.
Right.
And so now, in this little tiny minute moment of time here in your life, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to feel about it? How are you going to be responsible to yourself
Yes.
to give you the best possible way to move through it?
Right. And again, if you trip and fall down, be kind with yourself and just get yourself back up. Go, it's okay. You did it again. Now let's focus on changing it. I don't know anything about that.
Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Yeah.
Oops.
For those of you old enough to remember Britney Spears, I always have to qualify that for our audience there. So, yes, again, it's all about the doing the best you can for yourself in this moment.
Right. Yeah.
You had your experiences with your parents. We all had experiences with our
Mhm.
parents. And I don't want to open a new can of worms here with just a few minutes left to go in the show, but I do remember, I remember how my mother, in her final years, several years, every day she had regrets about the way she lost her husband and her son, my brother,
Yeah.
the way they passed.
Yeah.
And she beat herself up on that in a
Mhm.
spiritual way every day. And
Oh,
I watched it happen, and I would talk to her about it, and there was just no convincing her otherwise. And
yeah.
that's a terrible way to go through life. I mean, I don't want to be too strong about
Hard.
it, but I will in this case. That's an awful way to go through life, and you don't want to do
Oh,
that because it
yes.
doesn't feel good.
No, no. And when if you look at it, you embrace it and you go, okay, like I said, you fell down. How did you get yourself back up?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to get yourself back up out of this saying, okay, there I went, my mouth went ahead of me, and I said something mean. So take responsibility for it. And when you take responsibility for it, that's what you celebrate is I took action. I did something about it.
Right.
And that's how
And
you learn and you grow.
I think if there's the homework for week's this week's show, I think that's it, which is, if I can summarize, and you tell me what you think about my summary,
Mhm.
that the things that you learn, the things that you grow, the things that you do differently, again, they're all for you. You're not going to change the outcome of how it affects the next person or the person that is engaged in this little dance with you.
Right.
It's about you. Like you said, I'm the one that's learning to take responsibility. I'm the one that's
Mhm.
learning to do it better the next time. Again, what the rest of the world does, that's on them.
Right.
But I can do the things that I can do for myself to make me a better whatever human as things go on. So there you go.
Well, and think of that. And what happens is our energy goes out. So as we shift within our own selves, that energy is going out, and people are going to feel that change and hopefully be inspired by that change. We can't, do any more than just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm sharing this. I hope, you want to follow the same path I'm going, or go the path that you feel you have to go. Yet feeling proud of ourselves that we saw it, we, acknowledged it, we took responsibility for it, we're shifting it, and we're sharing it.
There you go.
That's that is one of the greatest gifts we can give. What people do with it, it's up to them.
Right.
So
Right.
I
But
agree
we're
with
doing
you.
our part to add
Yeah,
to the positive energy of the universe. That's all you can do at the end of the day.
absolutely.
And that's a good thing. All right, cool. What a great way to kind of wrap things up. I appreciate that.
Abs-
All right. So if you would like some assistance in maybe sorting this sort of thing out for yourself or whatever, my recommendation would be to get in touch with my friend Vicki over there. And how might people do that, Ms. Vicki?
Well, call me at 239-248-0586 or text. And I also have my email. It's Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53 at gmail.com.
There you go. And again, like I said, I just go over to YouTube, check out my videos to learn how to use your iPhone better. That'll make your life a more positive thing too. If you can use your iPhone better, that'll help.
Oh,
So
yeah. And Bill is very good at it, let me tell you.
Bill's iPhone tips over on YouTube. Check it out. And again, the podcast, the practical path podcast.com, the practical path podcast.com for your free tips and ebook on motivation, getting things done in life and all of that. So perfect. Okay, great. That's going to do it for this week.
Great.
Again, it's all about you. I hate to say
Mhm.
it. Sorry, it is. It all comes down to you and how you respond and react and what you learn and all that. But that's the good news. That is really, I think, good news because it's up to you. It's not up to anybody else how you're going to live your life. Have yourself a great week, everybody. We appreciate you being with us. I'm Bill Sklodowski. We'll see you next week.
I'm Vicki Wagoner. Thank you again for joining us and have a great week.